questions that you may have. We are live now. Welcome to the weekly update. I'm here on a Wednesday, not a Tuesday. I was really busy yesterday, so wanted to pop on here and give you the stats that we put together yesterday. And I have the ability to answer any questions that you may have, and we'll kind of take a look at any of the comparables if you have questions as well. I've got my screen ready to go. So as we always start, we talk about what are the active listings. I recorded the new listings this week for the month of July, so that will be coming out here soon. Currently, right now, we're sitting for single family home listings. We just went up by 10 listings, so nothing too crazy. And in St. Albert, we went up a little bit, Sherwood Park again. So this is normal to see. If you take a look at my July monthly report that we're coming out here right away, you'll see a monthly viewpoint, which is a little different. And that monthly viewpoint also showcases you not just single family home, but all properties. So you can kind of see where is Edmonton at. I took a look, interestingly enough, the inventory that's for sale and has sold, it's 50-50 almost. So 50% condos selling and 50% a single family. So that's interesting. When I say condo, I'm talking about condominiumized property, and that doesn't just mean apartment style. It also can mean condos in terms of apartment, high-rise, low-rise, and townhouses and duplexes and bungalows that are condominiumized. So anything with condo fees, that's what falls into the condos. When I talk here on the weekly updates, I'm talking to you about single-family properties that are detached homes and they have no condo fees. Now, sometimes they're not detached. Sometimes they're duplexes or townhouses with no condo fees. Those are also considered single-family. So when you look at these stats, that's what we're including. If you're looking at townhouses with no condo fees, those are typically going to be newer. All the older ones have condominiumized fees. That was a newer thing that they implemented, now I want to say at least 6 years or so now. Now let's take a look at the pending sales. We had pending sales, so contracts that went into, like, you as a buyer wrote an offer, got accepted. Not new build, only the stuff on resale. You see the numbers have gone up in Edmonton from the week before, and it is August. It tends to be quite quiet, and we're not seeing a massive difference when it comes to that type of number. If you compare from last year to this year, you'll see a little bit more of a difference. So let me show you what happened for sales. So how many people removed conditions in the last 7 days? We had 230 properties go sold in single family. That's a lot more than the week before. So definitely a lot stronger. And then the rest of the surrounding areas are pretty consistent. So if you're looking to move into the surrounding areas of Edmonton, now keep in mind, if you don't know where they are, they're literally connected to Edmonton. So if you're watching from BC or Ontario, these places are not far. So for example, Spruce Grove is a 15-minute drive from West Edmonton. St. Albert, same thing. Now the tip. So if you're going to the north of St. Albert, it's going to be 20 minutes to 25 depending on traffic. Spruce Grove from the West End is Beaumont from West End is about 30 minutes. Sherwood Park is about 30 minutes. You got Fort Saskatchewan as well. There's all these places that are still within driving distance, so they're not too far. That's why I cover them every week. Now, if we take a look at last year, like comparing last year's sales to this year's sales, now no longer were we in any sort of crazy flux market last year at this time. You're seeing that we are still stronger this year than we were last year. And if you take a look at St. Albert, it's the same thing. Sherwood Park, Spruce Grove, all of them are a lot stronger. So this market is stronger. Last year, the rates were a lot higher. So if you remember, the interest rates were kind of a hard pill for a lot of people to swallow. The rates have now come down, which is a great thing, but not by a lot, but definitely lower than it has been, because we've been seeing an increase, and now it's going down. First week of September, on the 4th of September, they're going to be announcing again what is happening with the interest rates, and the speculation is that rates will continue to drop. If you are looking for a house right now and you get a rate hold, that rate hold is for 120 days. So if you do the math, even if the rate does drop, you will get the lower rate. So you're better off getting that rate hold sooner than later. And then that way you'll be able to have the better rates. Now, I'm going to switch into the mode where we're checking out the different houses on the market and different areas. So if you have any questions, please go ahead and ask in the comments, and I'll be able to answer your questions. And right now, while I wait for your questions, I'm going to show you what is happening in my area, because I'm obviously biased. I know you guys are sometimes wanting to see other areas, but I like to focus on the areas that are in my opinion, good resale value. So I'm going to show you the west end of Edmonton. And before we go into that, maybe I should show you a map. So let's show you Edmonton for anyone who isn't familiar with Edmonton. Let's take a look at this map. And it's very smoky today, by the way. You can see the smoke is part of our weather forecast. I think the smoke has just blown in. We had a huge thunderstorm yesterday morning and didn't realize that it was this smoky. Okay, so here is Edmonton. And if you take a look here, I'm going to talk about this area. I think that we've had some people ask me about a different area here too. Let me just get the zoom in. So if you can take a look here, we typically talk about the far west end of Edmonton, like this side, outside of the Henday. And we also have areas inside of the Henday. This is still newer area. So I'm going to take a look at this area. I have a client that's interested to see what's the history and what's going on in the Donsdale, Garapi, that type of area. Let me just take a look at her message. So Garapi and Donsdale, yeah. So we're going to take a look at that area, and you can kind of see. So Garapi and Donsdale, just so you understand, is just right in this section here on the other side of the Henday. It's still newer than obviously in here. The further in you get, the older the properties become. But let's just take a look here. So we're going to take a look at single family homes in Garapi. Garapi is also known as Lessard. So Garapi and Lessard and Donsdale are not the same type of product. So let me just show you what is sold in Garapi, so you have an idea in the last 90 days what things are going for. Okay, so we've had 10 properties sell in the last 90 days, ranging from 352, that's a half duplex, older half duplex, which has no condo fees, I don't believe. And the highest price sold at $945,000. And it was listed at $1.125 million. Are you curious what that looks like? I am. This is what sold. It's like an older building. It's got lots of cool character here. Oh, I showed this house a while ago. So the windows are all old. And it's got some interesting, unique characteristics. Bigger house, spiral staircase. And do you see this kind of cool? It's not a typical layout for sure. I think that's the bonus room area, because we took a look at this house a couple months ago actually. It's been on the market for a while. So there you got a bonus room, a house that has, if you can imagine the cool upgrades you could do in this house. So $945,000. Oh, and I remember this deck was not, this is outside of the primary. That deck needed to get fixed. This is a lot of work, but the amount of coolness factor you can't get in a brand new build. So if you wanted to put money into this, you're going to get the money back, obviously, but it depends on how personal you make it. If you make it where is desirable and in more, that's 2024 styles, you'll probably be able to, you'll get some good resale. And there's a triple car garage too. So that's what sold for $945,000 in July. Then the next one was $705,000. That one sold above list. So you got this newer product. You might think to yourself, well, this is all done. Why would I buy the other one? This one's quite a bit smaller. It's not the same size of house. We have a double versus triple, and the square footage is quite a bit different in this one. That one. So the first one was 355 square meters, and the next one was 214 square meters. Why our system does square meters as a default, I don't know. So you'd have to just Google this conversion, because square feet is also how I understand things, but that's silly, and that's just how they do things. You've got one at 649, 640. So the average price you can see here is around 585, but realistically, most of them are selling in the sixes. If you are looking to get into Garapi with something that's kind of more renovated, if you're looking at 5, you're like, Melody, what does that 5 sell for? Like, what does it look like? 569. So you've got a painted exterior, gray paint, newer-ish carpets. I don't know if the carpets are that new. When you have a wood-based fireplace, make sure you get an inspection done on that so that you know what you're getting yourself into. This is cool because it's these homes in Garapi, you only find them here, honestly. In the city, I've not seen them. You might be able to find them in some of the older south areas, but this kind of layout with the open to above, that's not the typical open to above to the new builds. This is a really cool layout, but I've only ever seen this in this neighborhood. So they've done some updates, but see, the kitchen cabinets are original. So for $569, that's interesting that the fridge is kind of on its own there. Yeah, so I don't see any questions, but you can ask any questions you have. I'm going to keep showing you these houses. So this is in the Garapi area. Again, that's not a finished or updated bathroom. That's just painted. Maybe new countertops, hard to see from the photos. And the carpet's all original. Everything is original. So, but if you're okay with that, that's great. But don't forget, this sold for $569. If you're going, oh, there's one here for under 500,000. Look at the square footage size difference. So 275 square meters. This is 159, so it is smaller again. And these are new cabinets. They have put new cabinets in. Some of the floor, like that, looks original. These laminate floors don't look brand new. Those are laminate. And then vinyl. It almost looks like one sheet vinyl, not the plank click vinyl. You got the wood burning fireplace again, and that's like an OG tile surround. That looks newer, but yeah. And then you've got the laundry. See, they've been doing laundry in front of the garage door for years. I don't know why they haven't stopped doing it. Some of the newer ones don't have it, but sometimes they still have them. Now this is virtually staged, in case you're wondering why does it look like this, but it is virtually staged. It's not real staged, just to show you that furniture does fit. That's the primary. So the primary is a little bit smaller and needs work. So this house needs a lot more cosmetic work than the one that we showed you that was like $100,000 more. Definitely going to need more work, and it is a smaller footprint. So there's obviously ranges in terms of what things are going for, and then this is a duplex for under 400,000. So if you're looking to get into Garapi, that's what's been happening there. Let's take a look at Donsdale. Donsdale is another older West End neighborhood, and they tend to have homes that were built in the early 2000s. So like in the last 90 days, we've only had one property sell. So I'm just going to go back 6 months, and now we have 4 houses. It's a smaller area. If you take a look back here, let me just zoom in for you so you can see where Donsdale is. Let's keep going over here. So it's right here. We were just looking in Garapi, which is this section, and Donsdale is just south of that. So you can see there are some houses that would back the river. We did not look at any of those in Garapi. They were all in like this kind of area here. And now we're looking in Donsdale. So Donsdale, if you take a look at their highs, the price points are a lot higher, and they're not the same kind of house. So we're ranging from $860,000 to $2.1 million. So you can see there's a big range right here. Nothing sold between $900,000 and even in the $1 million price range. And this one, I think it was just so it's the lot and an artist rendering. So that's a huge lot. You can see it backs onto the ravine. But hey, you get a massive lot. I'm not sure if they purchased this lot with a builder and then that's the price they're paying also for the house. I would assume so. I would assume it's not just the lot. Let me just take a quick look and peek here. So 1.7 acres in the new estates of Donsdale. It looks like, so building plans for a 6,000 square foot home is included in the sale. The cost of plans, if you're ever curious, they costed them 150 grand to be done. And it did get sold. So yeah, it is possible. So let's take a look at what gets you. This is the average, what you're getting. This is the higher price point of what you're getting in Donsdale for $869,000. This is a bungalow. Really nice grass. Okay, so main floor office. A nice vaulted ceilings here. You got some surround sound going. $869. If you're thinking, oh, I want a bungalow to retire in, this is not in your budget, then you're going to have to reconsider what kind of bungalow you're going to get and what area. Donsdale's not a starter home area. This is the dining room here. And then another eat-in kitchen area. And you can see the house in the back is pretty close. So the yard is not going to be very big. But this is already sold. Sold are where you're going to actually learn what did someone actually be willing to let the house go for and pay for versus just looking at houses for sale on realtor.ca that are active, because those are houses that haven't been sold. No one's been doing that. Lynn, I see your question, and I'm going to do that as soon as I finish looking at this house. So laundry outside, the basement's finished. Oh, interesting. Older type wet bar, pool table. Did you know you have to have a big room for a pool table to play? Because you need to not just count for the pool table size, but also those long sticks. All right, so that's interesting. So there's a floor plan. Now I have a question from Lynn. Let's put you into our broadcast here. So she's wondering about the resale market in Rosenthal. Well, great question, because I live here. So I'm going to show you what's going on in Rosenthal. I keep an eye out on what's going on in my neighborhood, of course. And Rosenthal, let's just show everybody where that is. So just over here, you've got, that's interesting, they don't label it. So this is Secord, my old neighborhood. And then just here is Rosenthal. So as you see here, there's these traffic circles and this big green space. That's the rec center that's being built right now. Technically in Rosenthal, even though it's called the Lewis Farms Center, rec center. So Rosenthal is all along here and all along here. I've actually seen there's a road that's connected to 231 Street. So there's houses now back here. Rosenthal's almost completely finished. So if you're looking to buy new, your time is limited to get new build from the builder from Rosenthal because the land is almost gone. So if you want to buy in Rosenthal soon, you will have to buy in the resale market. The resale market and new build market are very different. So let's take a look at the resale market. So if we take a look at Rosenthal, in the last 6 months, we've had 93 sales in single family. We are not going to look at all that. We're going to look at the last 60 days. We've had 22 properties sell in the last 22 days, or in the last 2 months. So in the summer months, and for single family. And we're going to take a look and see the range. So the range started from 346,000 all the way to 765. So that's the highest. If you take a look at the lowest, these are the street side townhouses where I actually think Contiro has some of them now too. The garages, there is no basement. There's garages on the main floor and sometimes a living space or room there. And then you go up the stairs to the living space, which is usually the kitchen, living room. And then you go up the stairs again for the bedroom spaces. So a lot of stairs. In theory, it's the same amount of stairs if you had a basement. But if you don't need to go to the basement, you don't need to go to the basement. Whereas here, when you have groceries, you do have to climb up all those stairs, right? There's no option. So you can see the highest sold for those types is 402. So from 346 to 402, we're missing the the townhouses with no condo fees. Those price ranges usually are in the 380 to 420 range. But none of those sold in the last 2 months. I've not seen any for sale. We can take a look at the actives if you want, which you can see also on realtor.ca. Then you can see here starting at 461. So you're going, hey, Melody, I can get a house for 461 in Rosenthal. What does that look like? It's got a front attached garage. I believe this is actually duplex. Yeah. So it's not single family, like it's single family because there's no condo fees, but this is someone else's garage. It's not a triple car for 469. You can take a look at this house here. So relatively a newer finish. Rosenthal's not that old of a neighborhood, so you're going to find newer homes. And you can see here, it actually backs a road, I believe, too. There's the laundry, and I think this was a 2-bedroom. So I don't think the basement is finished. No, the basement's not finished, and the laundry's down here. That linen closet upstairs looked a lot like a laundry. So you can see here this concrete wall. That is your shared wall, I believe. And then, yeah, you're backing on. See these cranes? That's where the rec center is being built. You can see the condos here, but the rec center is like right over there. So decent sized yard for a duplex. And that is the one that sold for $461. This one, oopsies. Let's see what this sold for $484. This is a laned house with a garage in the back. I was just talking to a client of mine yesterday. Like we helped her buy a place a few years ago with the same idea in the south side, which is usually more expensive, for $399. Gone are those prices of those days. So this one sold for $484. I don't believe the basement's finished. But it used to be that you could buy a single family with a double garage attached for this price point, not finished. But now you're buying a laned house. That's just the new reality. These are the new ones that Cantiro have put up. It's $506. I have not yet sold any of these to a client yet because it's interesting. It has the garage. Like, take a look at this floor plan. The garage is smaller, obviously. Granted, all of the single family home ones are kind of small these days. But then you've got this like rec room area. Okay. And then you go up the stairs. I'll show you the pictures in a second. I just wanted to look at this. Here, this is the main floor. So you go up the stairs, there's the dining, living, and outdoor patio. So it's quite large. The straight side ones are not this big. And then the kitchen in the back. So similar idea, just a bigger floor plan than the straight side ones. And then you've got the like upstairs, laundry, recharge suite. So the bathroom is much bigger than in there. Because I mean, these are asking. This is over $500, which it's interesting that it's that expensive for a house. Let's keep taking a look at the pictures, because you can buy the similar floor plan but a lot smaller for like 120-ish less, right? And these are not attached. So if you looked at the picture here, they're like detached, whereas those other ones that are 100-ish lower, they are attached. These are completely on their own. So there's your kitchen. And then you've got a decent size. It's a nice size space. So this is a much bigger floor plan than the street side ones. You've even got mudroom here. So to be affordable and to have attached garage, because you could buy a laned house with a detached garage, but then, yeah, it's interesting. This is a very interesting layout. Not sure if we have had people. I don't have any clients that have bought those yet, because $506 is what it sold for. And for about 30 grand more, you can get, well, this person bought this house. Oh, this is a duplex. Interesting. Because that is not a triple car garage for that low. Yeah, it's a duplex. See how it's got the split in the back? Very interesting. So there you go. Resale value in Edmonton, or in Rosenthal, you're paying $530 for a half duplex. There must be a finished basement in this house. Yes, double garage, EV charging station. Oh, this one has a legal basement suite too. That's also why it sold for so much. So if you're looking at duplex prices, it's probably still in the $460 range that we saw earlier. Then you get the actual, these are the standalone houses, right? So you can see this house. I actually am very close to this house. This house sold in the low, what is it? 537,650. It was on the market for a while. It was on the market last year too. This one, 589. It sold for. This is a newer looking layout than the other one. So the older homes in Rosenthal are looking at low fives, and then the newer ones are quite a bit higher in price. They're closer to the high fives and sixes. If you're looking to build from scratch not resale. You're paying sevens. So you're not going to get the resale value back, because you can see that right now they're selling for the same house that you could build. You could buy this is a spec. This is a show home here, right? So that one sold in the sixes. And when you see the days on market, people go, oh, there's so many days on market. Can I get a better deal? Well, these are builders that listed their houses way before they were even ready to go. And that's why you tend to see the longer days on market. And so you can see there's quite a few homes here in the 700s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the 22 that sold in the last 2 months. And now this is a triple car garage, not a duplex, for $765. And you can see how close all the houses are. And that's a cool kitchen here. So that's what's going on in Rosenthal. And I don't think we had any other live questions. So if you have any other questions and you're watching this after, make sure to comment, and then we will answer you guys next week. Thanks so much for watching.